Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on a funeral elegy. Today we're going to take a look at lines 241 to 264. And we're at the point of this elegy. We've gotten past the Sir William Peter was such a great guy. We got into a little bit of self-deprecation on the part of the author. And then most recently he was talking about, what can anybody hope for after their body is dead and gone, but that their name will live on, hopefully with some sort of honor. And the author had not necessarily expressed everything that he wanted to Sir William Peter prior to Sir William being murdered. So there's a hint of regret there in that he should have let him know what a great friend he was, what a great person he was, all this sort of thing. And this elegy was written sort of to make up for that regret, to finally express those things. And at the end of yesterday's lines, he was saying, well, and maybe, if I'd been the one to kick the bucket first, maybe you would do the same for me. So line 241 continues from that point, saying, "Here then, I offer up to memory the value of my talent, precious man, whereby if thou live to posterity, though it be not as I would, 'tis as I can. In minds from whence endeavor doth proceed, a ready will is taken for the deed. Yet ere I take my last farewell from thee, fair mark of sorrow, let me frame some ampler work of thank, wherein to tell what more thou didst deserve than in thy name, and free thee from the scandal of such senses as in the rancor of unhappy spleen measure thy course of life, with false pretenses, comparing by thy death what thou hast been. So in his mischiefs is the world accursed. It picks out matter to inform the worst. The willful blindness that hoodwinks the eyes of men enwrapped in an earthly veil makes them most ignorantly exercise and yield to humor when it doth assail, whereby the candle and the body's light darkens the inward eyesight of the mind, presuming still it sees, even in the night, of that same ignorance which makes them blind." So what he's saying is, he got through the, maybe you would do the same for me, and here he's saying, so here is my last bit for you. This is what I'm writing for you. And hopefully before I die, I'm able to sort of set the record straight about what kind of person you are and maybe save you from some of the scandal that surrounded your life. And this is interesting because we haven't heard about any scandal that maybe surrounded his life. And it may or may not be scandal, but the last bit of these lines, sort of the last half of these lines, is him talking about how the world tends to feed on gossip and feed on negative information. It's going to pick out all these little things in a person's life and hone in on that instead of maybe thinking about what a wonderful person it was that passed. So sort of interesting here that we've got this switch from, oh, you were so wonderful, you were so great, to I hope to set the record straight that you actually were great and dispel perhaps some of these myths that might follow you to the grave. I'm curious now about what these myths were, and who knows if we'll learn more about them or not. But the only way to find out is to come back tomorrow for more. So I'll see you then. Or go read it for yourself, but come back tomorrow for more anyway. See ya. Mwah.